Recently, Actors Equity posted a YouTube video featuring President Nick Wyman making the case for the union's proposed changes to Los Angeles' 99-seat theater code. The 99-seat code is the agreement that's been in place since 1989, allowing small theaters to produce in LA without paying actors a standard union wage. In his message, President Wyman states that there have been a number of misunderstandings and inaccuracies regarding the proposals. While equity members who are against the proposed changes agree, unfortunately, many of those inaccuracies originate from equity itself and well-meaning, passionate people who either do not understand or do not fully appreciate the unique circumstances of Los Angeles theater. We'd like to take a moment to explain some of those circumstances and why equity's proposals are not job creators, but theater killers. Mr. Wyman states that the proposed self-produced project code will allow members to come together to create projects, quote, without benefit of a contract. What must be understood, however, is that members are not allowed to use already existing production companies, or more importantly, the nonprofit status those companies use to solicit tax-deductible donations. This makes fundraising to produce a play nearly impossible. If donors cannot claim their donations as tax deductions, the appeal of donating is greatly reduced. Members would be forced to self-fund, and most would find this prohibitive. While it makes good window dressing, this proposal will essentially eliminate member-produced projects. There is nothing, to quote Mr. Wyman again, mutually acceptable about this. Mr. Wyman goes on to say that the union understands that some members belong to membership companies that use the existing 99-seat code to produce. Unfortunately, he then mischaracterizes those companies, stating that actors pay fees to practice their craft. While it is true that some member companies charge monthly dues, these monies go directly to helping pay the rent, build the sets, buy the publicity, and run the utilities associated with the considerable costs of producing theater. These companies are member-funded co-ops, not profitable businesses, as Mr. Wyman would seem to imply. That aside, he then goes on to state that union members who belong to existing 99-seat member companies may continue to work for those companies without a contract. However, any union member joining one of these companies after April 1st of this year will have to be paid at least minimum wage for rehearsals and performances. There are several obvious problems with this, even assuming that companies that must charge dues to simply survive could somehow meet the onerous financial burden. First of all, this plan would create a destructive hierarchy in companies, where some union members are disproportionately paid for their work, while others labor for free, often while paying dues to keep the doors open. There is nothing equitable about that. Secondly, there will be enormous financial pressures on these companies to use as few union actors as possible. Many of these companies are producing some of the most daring new works of theater in America today. If they are forced to use fewer and fewer union actors, these new works and emerging authors will have to cast non-union talent for their world premieres, decreasing the chances that these plays will go on to larger, union theaters and provide good jobs for equity actors. And third, under the impossible financial burden, companies that use union actors will stagnate, growing older and grayer without the influx of new talent that is a member company's long-term lifeblood. Mr. Wyman concludes by using the phrase minimum wage several times, stressing it dramatically as any good actor would. His appeal is obvious. Aren't actors worth minimum wage? Of course they are. And we would all like to see reasonable changes made that progress towards that goal. Unfortunately, this proposed plan is not that change. It is a theater killer, an art eliminator. It will hurt Los Angeles actors, and it will hurt Los Angeles. What can we, as union members, do to stop it? Go to www.ilove99.org for more information. That's www.ilove99.org. And more importantly, vote no on the upcoming referendum by midnight of April 16th. We all want change, but we can and should do better. Thank you for listening.